I'd like to review using Google Classroom to differentiate instruction. So there is a way that you can post to only certain students. The students have no idea that they're the only person being posted to for certain things. So you could give a general assignment title. So let's say you're going to say, like math homework, and you can level the math homework so that everyone gets exactly what they need, and you're not having to post the exact same thing for all the kids. The other way that I use it, in fact, the way that I use it more often than not, is I'll give everyone the same assignment, and then I'll see kids that are struggling, that just need a little bit more instruction, and so I might post a message just to them or just for a small group of students so that they get what they need. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I've gone into my classroom and I'm looking at the grades tab, and it's a little all over the place because of our change in instruction, but I wanted you to sort of see what it looks like when you have a full class in here. And one of the things that they put at the top is the class average. So you can see for this assignment I gave just before we left for our social distancing. So on March 12th, I gave an assessment, and the average on the assessment is 23.33. So obviously the kids did really well on this particular assignment, but I have a couple of kids that I have someone that didn't pass it in yet, and so I sent them a separate message, and I also have a kid down here who did not do as well as I would have hoped. So if you see the three little dots here on the side, you can click on that and you can view the submission. And so I can sort of take a look at what the person has done, and I've added some comments onto their document. And when I take a peek at this, this student is not reading for clues. So for example, this says measures the acceleration of your microbit. Well, one of the words that they could use was accelerometer. So accelerometer, acceleration, like those are almost the same thing. So they should be, looking for keywords inside, even if it seems overwhelming. The other thing that they're missing out is this, this general purpose input output pins. So it has the word pins in it, and they put an LED display screen. So that doesn't even make sense. So what I'm assuming that the student has done is they went through and they sort of said, like, I've used this, I've used that, I've used that. And so they got to the end and then they're like, whatever, that just doesn't even make sense, but I'm just going to use it because it's the last word that I have. So I think that there's a lot of strategy involved in test taking that this student did not do. And so I want to give this person a separate post. So here I am back in the classwork. So I just went to the classwork tab and I'm going to create a new assignment. I want the kid to respond in some way. So I was trying to think of what type of posting I would do. And I think I'm just going to do a question to that student, and then I'm going to have them redo the original assignment instead of doing a new posting for that. So I'm just going to ask a question, and I'm going to say, my question is, so I'm going to ask the student, are you using strategies when you take assessments? And my key is not working properly, so you'll see me editing. And I'm going to type the rest of the instructions, but I'm going to do that offline so that way you won't be bored silly. And then we'll get back together once I have the posting ready so I can show you what to do. Okay, so I have finished filling this out, and actually instead of a short answer, I want to give them a multiple choice, and I just want them to say yes or no. And I obviously just want them to say yes. So I'm giving some strategies. So I'm saying like, hey, when you did this, it doesn't look like you applied some strategies. And these are 3 strategies that I want the student to be able to use. And then I want them to go back to their assessment and apply the strategies and make some changes. And I want them to do it pretty quickly. So I actually put a due date for Monday, and that way I can get it done. So I also unchecked, there was something that students could comment to each other if I was doing not the multiple choice, but if I was doing the short answer question. But I don't want students to see the summaries. So if you check that, then what will happen is they'll get to see like how many kids answered for each question. And this is just going to a couple of kids, so I don't want to do that. So this is how I get to decide who I send this to. So I'm going to click on that, and all students are clicked here as a default. So I'm going to uncheck that. And then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pick the students that I want to get this. So there is one, and let's see, where did it, oh, there. They're actually right next to each other. So now I've selected the students that it's going to go to, and because I'm asking them something, we get the little ask button here. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to send that. And what's going to happen is I put it in the assessment right here, and you can see, are you using strategies when taking assessments? If I click on that, you can see that it's only going to 2 students, and I could click to see exactly which students that was going to. So obviously this is a really great tool to differentiate instruction. The kids have no idea. This one, it's going to be, they're probably going to know that not everyone's getting it, but sometimes I just do it for different types of lessons. Like I teach programming, so I have some kids that are just plowing and they're like way ahead. And so I can give them some advanced topics to work on. And so I can just give that to them separately and then make it available later on to the rest of the class, but not to make the class feel overwhelmed. So it's just a tool that you can use as a teacher. Highly recommend it. If you have any questions about it, please let me know, but it's really easy to post just to specific students. Thanks for watching.